rent individual things anymore.
Right.
Netflix is now just, here's all of the things that we offer. Give
Right.
us your subscription money.
All right. Let's go to our next story with Netflix. We've talked about Netflix many, many times, and if you have Netflix on your phone, you actually know that they actually have some iPhone games on their phone.
I've seen some of that, but I don't have an iPhone. But they were recommending games for me, and I was like, I just want to watch movies.
Yeah, so but there's if you recall a few weeks ago, I'm gonna actually pull it up. They had a maybe last month or so when the new Ninja Turtles was released. If I recall correctly, isn't there like you can play Ninja Turtles, the one that was on the PlayStation 4 and 5 or whatever it was, the one we played on stream. I'm pretty sure you can play that on your iPhone. There's an iPhone version of
Shredder's
that.
Revenge?
Yes.
Hang on. There's a whole section of gaming on Netflix. I see Sonic Prime Dash.
Yes.
I don't see Shredder.
How do you control
there it is. TMNT Shredder's Revenge. There it is.
Yeah.
What's controller? Oh, on your phone only?
Yeah, it's a mobile.
Huh.
So I'm looking at Netflix right now, and they actually have
me too.
several mobile games on there, but they're traditional mobile games. But they have made the move to go into traditional, traditional games not on the iPhone, which is interesting because they've gone out and they've hired somebody that worked at EA, Kabam, and Zynga to be the vice president of game development. This guy named Mike Verdu going in to be the VP of game development over at Netflix, which traditionally I think what they've done is they've just hired people to do it, but it looks like they're going to take some in-house. So because it's interesting because Netflix has gone on to say that everything competes with Netflix, whether it's movies, TVs, video games. So to see them step in to the gaming space, I don't know. What do y'all thought?
It sounds like Netflix is competing against Game Pass and PlayStation Plus and these other, like, they're the new income, into the gaming space. Okay, movie streaming sites compete with Netflix, but when it comes to games, like, this is new for them. Like, I don't trust Netflix to be able to host games like, I don't know, Steam. Well, I don't know. You don't.
As
rent
long as it's like a
games on
mobile
Steam.
game, then I don't really see a huge problem about it.
I don't see it as a problem. I just it's kind of arrogant to say everyone competes with Netflix when
I think
they just started gaming.
They're trying to branch out, and I don't think they should.
I think Netflix listened to Elon Musk's speech about Twitter being the destination place, and then decided to copy it.
But Twitter doesn't have games.
What I'm saying is Twitter's branching out into all these different places, being this all-around company, and I think
Netflix that's what Netflix is thinking, do.
Let's do the same thing.
Right.
I don't think they're ready, to be honest.
As a gamer, the last place that I'm gonna go for games is Netflix.
Yeah.
And I feel like most gamers feel exactly the same way.
Mm-hmm.
As pointed out by Ludicrous Fool in the chat, says, look how well Google Stadia went. And I think that's the thing to keep.
It's their Google made a console and it went nowhere.
Look how well their phone did too.
Yeah. So, I mean, Reed Hastings is the CEO of Netflix, and he's gone on to say that they're in competition with everything. But they said they hired this guy Verdu, and by the way, I'm reading off my screen because I don't want to pop it up because I think that's what's slowing everything down. But they said this guy Verdu will head an expansion into video games that could launch within the next year. Two people said as far as the company's plans go. So they're expecting an announcement in the next couple months. And I think one of the big reasons is they're kind of seeing plateauing growth and from the streaming space. They've kind of grown as big as you can possibly be from a streaming perspective. Like everybody has Netflix, right?
You don't think it has anything to do with their adaptations of trash that they keep doing?
Potentially.
I feel like, look at the G4 or not G4. What's the G3, the gaming convention that isn't happening? E3, right?
Yeah.
No longer happen. Why? Because the game companies are just doing it themselves. Like, you know what? We're just gonna have our own thing. Nintendo did, their release. Nintendo State of the Play, PlayStation. They're all doing their own versions of everything. Why would someone go to Netflix when these game companies are doing their own thing anyway, right? They're hosting their own games. Like, look at Blizzard, like they're hosting all of their own stuff on their own thing. Like, you can't get it on Steam. I don't know. I feel like Netflix is late to the party, and now they're like scrambling to try to do this because they're plateauing and they're trying to do something new to maybe like appease the shareholders. But their target audience is who? The Zegna. I can't believe they're still together. The Facebook game players, the people that like those kind of games, like those people are just going to continue on Facebook to play those games. They're not going to go to Netflix to suddenly start playing those gacha games.
Well, yeah, I was just thinking, like, what gaming places are going to license their games to Netflix? Because if they're thinking like a rental model, how's that even going to work with digital media? You can't buy copies and rent them. You know what I mean? Like, so
they don't rent individual things anymore. Netflix is now just, here's all of the things that we offer. Give us your subscription money, and they're just going to add. You can play these games for an extra $4 a month, and then 10 million people sign up for the extra bit, and then they're making, $40 million a month extra.
Right. And I think what you see specifically, this could potentially be like a value add for your subscription, or like you said, an add-on, right? $4 a month, only $4 a month, you get access to all these games.
Yeah, I see that.
My question is, what games? Like, who's going to license their games to them?
So I'm looking
at, going to be Flash games or like.
Right. So, and that's a good question, but I'm looking at the mobile games that they offer right now I'm just looking on the Netflix app, and they have games like Cut the Rope, right? That's that, slice and dice kind of Fruit Ninja-ish type thing.
I love that game, actually. I played it as a kid.
They have SpongeBob, Get Cooking, Nailed It Baking Bash, which is a spinoff of a Netflix series, right?
All of them.
Sonic
mindless
Prime
games.
Yeah, Sonic Prime Dash, which is tap, 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 that's what they have on the mobile games. Solitaire, games like that.
So they're
not going after gamers, right? The amount of gamers in the world spiked in sometime in the last 10 years. And if you look at the data, it's not AAA games, PlayStation, Xbox, PC Master Race gamers.
No,
it's the freaking Facebook games and the smartphone tap games, the mindless stuff. Like, that the amount of players that play that kind of, those aren't gamers. Those are people that are just, they become addicted to those games. And it's like, that's who Netflix is going after. They're trying to get those people to be like, oh, I can watch movies and I could play this gacha game. Well, they don't consider it a gacha game, but I do. Like, these games are mostly stupid games that are pointless.
They're nanny games.
Oh, nanny games. Oh, yeah. I can make an aquarium by tapping 100,000 times to collect this huge whale, but I can also set up an auto tapper and it automatically does it in the game. And then all of a sudden you're like, you got to sign in daily to get the daily rewards, to get you extra bonuses. And then they have different seasons, and it's like all this shit to just get you to go on every single day to get into their app. So they have more users, and then they're addicted to it. And it's just like, that's, I see it's very predatory, and it seems like Netflix is taking on. They're like, oh, it's working for these game companies, and it's like the state of games right now is so shit. The microtransactions, the way to get people to continue playing and continue to put money into the game. Remnant 2 just came out, right? And what I love most about Remnant 2 is they took the package of the game and said, here you go, gamers. No microtransactions, no seasons, just a fantastic game that you can enjoy thoroughly.
I hear it's amazing. Oh,
it's incredible. It's a fantastic game. Yeah. And it's a full game, and with nothing, no hidden anything. And the devs have been really upfront about what they're tweaking, the changes, the balances. And it's like, the game is incredible. It's a one full package. It's so rare to get that. I have a feeling all of those Netflix games that they're going to do are not going to be like that. It's going to be seasons, dailies. Yeah. Maybe I don't know if they can do the microtransactions on those, but it seems like that would be what they want to do.
I honestly
so
think these games are games that people will pay for to hand the phone to their kids when they don't want to
let me
watch.
give you guys some stats. Give it to me.
Give it to me.
I pulled some
I know you
stats.
love your stats.
So Netflix has gone on. They've actually acquired 3 different game companies in the last 2 years. They acquired in September 21. They acquired Night School Studio. March of 2022.
Wait, say that
Next
again.
Games,
You
in
cut
March
out.
2022. Boss Fight Entertainment.
What was that
Sir,
first one? You cut out.
Night School Studios. Night School
Night
Studios.
School. I don't know that.
Next Games.
No.
What are the, what
Yeah,
do
they're
these
all
game
like
companies
smaller
make?
companies.
Okay,
Mostly
but
games
do
for
they
Netflix
make
now.
anything? What were they making? Were they making mobile games? Were they making like Facebook
Yes.
games? That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So in January 2022, so about 18 months ago, mobile games on Netflix saw 8.1 million downloads around the globe. So that's just these are the games that they have. And by the way, they have 63 mobile games as of June. Okay, on the phone. Now in October of 2022, so this was 10 months later. We're talking about last year, which this is now 8, 9, 10 months ago. That number had risen from 8.1 million to 34 million downloads of their games. So with 16% of all downloads coming in the United States. And that's the one thing to forget that people forget about, is that it's not just an American audience. Netflix is a worldwide audience. So it's pretty crazy, man. They've used the mobile games as a test market, and they see a big opportunity there.
All right, I'll be honest. I'm kind of surprised. So I pulled up 14 incredible Netflix games you need to play today, and I see Shredder's Revenge is on there, which is pretty cool because that game is pretty rad. I see Into the Breach, which is kind of shocking. It's the same company that made FTL, which is a fantastic game. So it's not as gotcha as I thought. I'm also seeing a lot of like tap games and just stuff like that. But it seems like there's some side scrollers. I don't know what Stranger Things is. Stranger Things,
Stranger
Shredder's
Things on
Revenge,
Netflix.
Valiant Hearts. I don't know what that is. I'm kind of shocked actually seeing some of those games. Like that's not what I expected. But it feels like they just want those subscriber numbers, and from what you just said, it seems to be working, right? Like why wouldn't a parent of a kid say, "I already pay for Netflix, play these games here instead," because then they don't have to pay for Game Pass, maybe, or to the disappointment of their kid, probably. But they're still playing games. There's still games on there.